Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for my scent of the day video. Before I get into today's fragrance, I just wanted to share with all of my fabulous friends in the audience, be you fellow YouTubers or enthusiasts of perfume, viewers, or those that just drop by because you like hanging out with me in the morning. This will probably be the last week that I do a consistent scent of the day video every single day. I'm going to keep my scent of the day series, but I'm going to scale it back to just occasional scent of the day videos for fragrances that I think that you might be interested in hearing about, either because they're new on the market or they're ones that don't get a lot of love on YouTube. And there may be some of you out there that like to come across those videos and listen to somebody's thoughts on that one fragrance you're interested in, but no one seems to have a video on it. I love to do videos for that kind of audience because I know what that's like when I'm looking on YouTube and I'm curious about a fragrance and it's just really, really hard to find a review on fill in the blank fragrance. So I'd like to keep doing them. I'm adjusting schedules based on us starting to lift out of lockdown and the family getting more active, doing other activities outside of the house. So that's really going to sort of alter how we approach our day and the amount of time that I have to dedicate to doing videos in the morning and so forth. So thank you so much for your understanding, and I hope that you enjoy this week. And please watch out for other videos that I post that are theme based. For example, last week I started a beach series. I did part 1, which is on coconut-centric fragrances. I did part 2, which is focused on tropical florals that remind me of being at a vacation resort. This week, I will post the last 2 videos in that series. The next one is going to be focused on fragrances that smell like suntan lotion. They remind me of sand at the beach, or they remind me of actual palm trees. So I hope you'll enjoy that. And then the last one is on marine or oceanic kinds of fragrances, and there may be an aquatic or 2 in there as well because they kind of are all in the same family for me. I hope that you enjoy those. Let me know your thoughts on that series. So today's fragrance is one that I selected purely based on the bottle. I had to blind buy it like I do most of my fragrances. I don't have those kinds of department stores nearby that have, you know, that have an infinite number of fragrances to test. The ones that are near me have your sort of usual suspects, like there's a MAC counter, there's a Lancome counter, there might be a Chanel counter. And so anyway, it's really hard to find fragrances to test in person. And you can't always find decants and whatever of some of these fragrances. So therefore, I blind buy. That said, most of the fragrances that I buy, I like in some form or fashion. Something has to be really, really out there for me to turn my nose up at it. Pun intended, nose up at it. Rim shot. I usually find something redeeming or good in most of the fragrances that I try. Okay, that is a long 3-minute intro to share with you Quatre en Rose by Boucheron. What a gorgeous bottle. I love the frosting on this. I love the gold lettering. I love the gold details. I really, really like that you have to twist it down to get to the atomizer instead of pulling off a cap. That's really a neat feature to me. This bottle reminds me a lot of Rêve d'Infini by Lalique, which is a gorgeous Art Deco bottle. These are kind of in the same family to me, and I love these beautiful Dainty Girly bottles. Another one that it reminds me of for obvious reasons with the frosting is Mon Boudoir by Vivienne Westwood. Really, really pretty bottles. Love the feminine touches on this. So this is part of a series from Boucheron, which I didn't realize until I started to poke around on Fragrantica. You have the regular OG Quatre from Boucheron. You have a Quatre Intense. There is an En Rouge version that comes in a red bottle. And you also have an Absolute de Nuit version. And there's a couple of male fragrances as well. Pour Homme and then Absolute de Nuit Pour Homme from Boucheron. So it's quite an extensive line. I'd love to try some of the others, but let's talk about this one in front of you because that's what you're here for, yeah? This is considered an amber floral fragrance. It's a fresh, fruity floral to me. And the nose behind this is Quentin Biche. I don't usually talk about the nose behind a fragrance because most people that are watching either don't care or just not familiar enough with the names. But I do want to say that this gentleman has an extensive line of fragrances that he has created that are pretty well known, including fragrances for Carolina Herrera, Chloe. You have fragrances from Jean-Paul Gaultier. You have, let's see here, Mugler, a bunch others, Paco Rabanne, Parfums de Marly, even Penhaligon. So he's created or helped create over 70 fragrances that are pretty well known out there in the community. I think, spoiler alert, this fragrance is beautiful. And I really love how it morphs on the skin. When you open this, you get, the top notes here are black currant, artemisia, mandarin orange, and bergamot. So you get this really feminine, luscious, almost like a citrusy floral opening on this right away. And even though it's not until the middle that you get rose, the rose to me comes forward at the top, immediately surrounded by some citrus. It's just a really beautiful combination that to me draws you in right away. It's at the same time heavy and decadent, but also quite light. That's a tough thing to accomplish, and I really like that in perfumes. In the middle there, you get rose, peach blossom, and jasmine. So the citrus sort of begins to dissipate after a while, and you get mostly a floral fragrance in the middle with just some hints of that citrus remaining. And then here's where the interesting thing is. Well, the whole fragrance is interesting, but as it gets into its final stage, you get a beautiful vanilla floral base. There's vanilla, musk, patchouli, and vetiver in the base. I think the vanilla comes through fairly prominently, still mixed with those middle notes. You don't get any citrus in the base, of course, but I was pleasantly surprised by this fragrance. And I would say that happens maybe at the 5 or 6 hour mark where it's mostly a vanilla fragrance. And I really enjoy that. I'm not the biggest, vanilla lover. I love it in fragrances. I don't like vanilla centric fragrances necessarily, maybe some here or there. But the way that it happens here, it's still floral, a little bit musky, and it's just a really delightful, bright vanilla, if that makes sense. People tend to think of vanilla, we talk about it being gourmand, being edible, being like a rich kind of note, but it's light the way that it's played here in Quatre in Rose. This is gorgeous for any time of year, but especially here in the late spring, going into the summer. Quite a beauty, and one that I would not hesitate to wear in high heat if I wanted to smell pretty and feminine and stand apart from the crowd that's going to be mostly wearing aquatics and citruses and whatever in the summertime. Those are gorgeous too. I love all of those as well. But this is one if you want to have your little sundress on and you want to be pretty and feminine in the high heat, you may want to think about Quatre and Rose. I don't find it cloying at all. For me, this is one that I would probably feel comfortable over spraying. If you tend to be conservative about that, then maybe 3 or 4 sprays of this will be fine for you. Quatre in Rose, a gorgeous fragrance, highly recommended for those of you in the market for a floral, fruity, rosy, vanilla fragrance. Take care, friends. Have a wonderful day.